Hello and welcome to Wednesday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. The jobs of almost half the workforce at Melksham's biggest employer are under threat tonight after Cooper Tyre and Rubber announced plans to stop making some of its products.
Workers gathered in the factory.
Next this evening, as councils across our region struggle to cope with the rising levels of plastic waste, Swindon has put forward a radical proposal to stop recycling it and instead turn it into fuel for burning.
Well, the council says plastic recycling isn't the greenest option, and often it's impossible to know for sure it's being properly processed. They are the only council in the country with the facilities to turn it into factory fuel, which is what they already do with the town's black bin rubbish. Karen Bell has this report.
And you're watching ITV News here in the West Country. Coming up straight after us, the ITV News continues at 6:30. Mary Nightingale has the details. But first, the widow of a Warminster-based soldier who took his own life in June says military personnel need to be encouraged to talk about their mental health.
Today, she welcomed home a group of soldiers who have marched across the country in her husband's memory. They arrived at Battlesbury Barracks on World Mental Health Day. Ellie Louise Rinch has this report.
Well, meanwhile, two YouTubers spent last night writing hundreds of positive messages in chalk around Bristol for World Mental Health Day. The pair known as... Well, for more on this, we're joined in the studio by Hannah Roper from the charity Mind. Hannah, thanks so much for coming in this evening. We saw the YouTubers there spreading the word. How valuable is something like World Mental Health Day?
Yeah, so it's a hugely significant and valuable day because it helps us start and open up those conversations around mental health and tackle that stigma that unfortunately is still rife. We all have mental health, just like we have physical health, and we need to be mindful that we need to look after that. It's also important because it allows communities to engage in activities and find out what local support is out there, but also for workplaces to engage in maybe mental health training and to support their staff's well-being.
And we see that video there being put on YouTube. Lots of social media activity today, even our sports club, Bristol Rugby, Bristol City Football Club, all of them taking part, getting that conversation started. How important a role can highlighting it that sort of way play?
Yeah, technology and social media can play a huge part in promoting and raising the awareness of mental health, the fact that it affects everybody. But we have to be careful, obviously, that too much technology and too much social media can be detrimental to our mental health. But there is a lot of positives out there. There's lots of apps and online resources that people can seek the help that they really need.
Just very briefly, Hannah, exercise also good for mental health?
Fantastic for exercise. It's a great way to relieve stress and also release those natural endorphins, which is that natural high that we get after exercise. Really good for our mental health.
OK, Hannah, thank you so much. Good advice. Thank you for coming in. Well, dozens of people are gathering on Clevedon Pier this evening to take part in a lantern parade to highlight just how important exercise is for our mental health. Well,
it began this morning with a cold water swim in the Marine Lake.
Oh, indeed, and Ellie is live in one of my favourite places. She's on Clevedon Pier for us tonight. Ellie, what's going on there?
Now, from the rolling hills in the Cotswolds to the North Wessex Downs in Wiltshire, there's no doubt that our region has some of the country's best rural spots, especially for foraging. But have you ever considered looking for wild foods in the heart of a city?
Well, there are more than 2,000 types of mushrooms in Bristol, and as we're in the mushroom season, we sent our reporter Sangeeta Lal out with Nature Ambassador Steve England to see what they could find.
Oh, well, it is amazing what you can find. We should stress that you should only forage on land with the landowner's permission, and you've got to get expert advice as well, so make sure you do that if you're going foraging.
Yeah, and on tomorrow's programme will be taken. It was a gorgeous day out there today, so we sent Alex to an orchard in Ilminster, and he sent this report. Alex, thanks very much. Now, before we go, details of what's coming up tonight on Robert Peston Show at 10:45. And that's it from us.
And because we're nice, we're going to leave you with this view of Clevedon this evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.